I don't have an opinion about it because I'm not from that upbringing. So for me, I wouldn't do that. But I don't frown upon on women who do that.
Gotcha.
So,
but you keep yours locked up and tied up.
Keep the yard dogs in.
I was thinking that. I didn't want to say it. You said it. Keep the yard dogs locked up, tied up.
On the leash.
On the leash and under a key.
Okay,
I didn't say it. You said it.
Okay. But you thought it.
I did think it, but I was like, I don't say that.
Okay.
Coming to you from 125 Carver in Waco, Texas, it's the Riverside Weekly. We hope your time with us today is thought-provoking, spiritually challenging, and a life-changing experience. Our discussions are fun, real, and at times very uncomfortable. We highly encourage all of our guests and listeners to like and subscribe, and please ring the bell. Now, here are your hosts, Pastor Cello and Pastor Mia.
Welcome, everybody. It's Wednesday.
Good morning. Thank you guys for subscribing, watching, tuning in. Appreciate you guys listening to us on all of our platforms that we have now.
I don't know.
We're expanding, so
I know
thank
Twitch.
You guys.
I know Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Riverside App. Yeah, that one too.
Yeah, all those.
Yeah.
Did you say iTunes?
I did.
You did say. Okay. Yeah, all those. You know what would be really cool?
What? Tell me.
If we could level up and be like on Sirius XM.
Ooh.
Like we have our own show. Like,
ooh.
That'd be gangster.
So you guys vote for us. Go vote for us on the Podcast of the Year, Waco Podcast of the Year at Waco Awards.
Yeah, WacoAwards.com.
Yes, and you can vote for
Podcast of the Year.
The Riverside Weekly?
It says Riverside Community Church on it, but it's the Riverside Weekly. It says it on there.
So go vote for us because then
push a heart.
Yeah.
Show some love.
Yeah, and then when you do that, maybe they'll give us a platform after that. Who knows? You never know. Anyway, it's also New Shirt Wednesday.
New Shirt Wednesday. Somebody's thinking like, how do y'all get new shirts every Wednesday? Well, let me tell you.
For $39.95, you too can have a shirt. I'm just kidding.
We just have design shirt designs, and
we had always said that for a long time. When he was a youth pastor, he'd always say, let's make a shirt. Let's make a shirt. Let's make a shirt. And so we'd make fun of him and...
give me a hard time.
Yes.
Drag me.
Yes.
For having a shirt for every event.
Yes.
We're going to have a barbecue.
We'd say somebody farted and we'd be like, it's a shirt. Yeah. So we would make fun of him for everything. And now I'm the one who does it. I'm like, that's a good shirt. That's a good shirt. That's a good shirt. And so now he's sending me his shirt designs, and I'm able to...
This would be a good design. Why don't you put that on a shirt for me? He's like, okay. So, plus I order shirts. So if you have any like cool shirt designs, like send them to me.
Yeah. I can't wait to do...
Or if you find shirts, I wear it extra large. Slim.
And I wear a medium.
A medium?
Yeah, or a large. I'm sorry, I'm a large. Yeah,
a large.
Yeah.
What size you wear? A large.
Medium. Schmedium.
Schmedium.
A large? I don't know.
Schmedium's on the lower end.
Yeah, I wear a large.
Medium. Schmedium's the lower end of medium. And large is on the higher end of
medium.
And then you have large and small. So.
Yeah, I'm neither one of those. Anyway, so my shirt is actually inspired by a calendar that I saw. As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, that would make such a good shirt. And then as I was pressing it, I thought to myself, wow, that looks like my grandmother's sister and her niece that I got to see this weekend. And on top of all that, looking at it, I was like, I think this looks just like my grandmother's mother. I'm pretty sure I met her before. Grandma will have to correct me, but I'm pretty sure she's from the Mendoza side, or not the Mendoza side, but I, again, need to go visit with my grandmother so I can know my grandmother's maiden name. I know it, but I don't want to pronounce it wrong. So anyway, but I think this looks just like my grandmother's mother. Maybe you can zoom in on that somehow. I don't know. But anyway, so I printed the shirt because we are celebrating National Native American Heritage Month. We just came out of National Hispanic Heritage Month, which I thought was so cool this weekend, you guys. I was at HEB. And the office clerk, the cash office, he had on an HEB shirt, and it said National Hispanic Heritage Month. I said, way to go, HEB.
That's pretty smart considering they're in South Waco.
Hey. They come from San Antonio, though.
That's what I'm saying, like San Antonio.
Yeah.
What do you call it? South side,
South side. HEB's from the South side.
Right.
I mean, I'm just saying, they're really good, and I was so proud of them for doing that. I wanted to tell him, you do know it's National Native American Heritage Month. Did you print that one as well? But
Already.
I didn't. I was just like, oh, good job. Thanks for still wearing that shirt. Anyway, so I just wanted to say that you too can have a shirt for $39.95.
$29.95.
Oh, okay. No,
$30.
We dropped the price?
We'll do it for $30.
Shipping and handling and all that?
Shipping and handling included.
All right.
I pay $30 for my shirts. So, like, a lot of shirts I get, I usually pay about between 25 and 30. It just depends.
Well, I will say this, that I'm excited to do shirts. I love them. I like trying new things.
So is it a hobby or a business?
That's a good one. We should talk about that, but not today. Not today. That will be a podcast. Did we talk about that before, though?
I don't know. Our viewers probably know.
They're like, yeah, y'all talk about it all the time.
We're trying to keep up with all kinds of stuff.
I know. But today, that's not what we're talking about.
What are we talking about today?
I'll decide later and give you an answer about that later. I think it's just a hobby right now. Anyway, so I will say this. We're talking about something fun today. We are talking about things frowned upon in society. Ah! And the crowd went wild.
Hashtag cancel culture.
Is that what it is? I was like, is it? Is that what it is? No, that's not why.
I'm just saying, like...
I was actually trying to think, and Matt's probably listening to the podcast, and he's probably going, you said, I even told you to use my name. I don't know what I said, but I said something, and Matt was like, ew, that's not, you were doing something. I said, it's just frowned upon, or something like that. I don't remember. Maybe kind of like things that are frowned upon. Pastor Cello, don't leave your water around, because this brother here will go around and pick up water bottles and then drink them. That's frowned upon for me. I'm sorry. That's disgusting.
That's wasted water, man.
Okay, but during
Water's
COVID...
life, bro.
Yes,
Water's life.
Thanks, Bruce Lee. We know that.
Well,
but
Bruce
at the
Lee,
same time, there's germs out there. And you're drinking everybody's COVID-y germs. And,
oh, well.
I mean, maybe that's why your immune system's so well, right?
It is. Like, I don't...
Okay, so another thing that I was thinking about was frowned upon. And again, I'm not picking on you. I'm just thinking about you. I'm not
picking on you, but I'm thinking about you. Yeah. We're talking about things that are frowned upon.
Yeah, because it just I'm just thinking about the stuff while I'm driving, okay? Naps are not frowned upon. Jesus took a nap, right?
Yeah,
tell us about it. What did he do?
Well,
what did he do?
It was actually a meme, I think, that I shared. And basically it was saying that it says, man, I can't remember. I had to look it up. Put me on the spot.
God.
So basically it's talking about how the meme, I don't even know if I have it, was how naps, a lot of times naps are frowned upon.
Yeah.
But Jesus took naps. And Jesus took a nap during the storm.
Right, on the boat. He was on the boat, and he took a nap,
Talks
right?
about how Daniel took a nap when he was in the lion's den.
Yeah.
And I can't find the rest of them.
Okay, well, let's talk about some of the other ones. So I looked up some things because it says that these are things that are frowned upon but are actually totally acceptable. And I know this is just fun. And
well, let's
what?
What do you mean frowned upon?
Okay, so there are robbing a bank, you can get in trouble for it. It's not wrong.
Yes, it is wrong.
Okay, because you can go to jail for it. I meant
no,
it's frowned upon. I'm just saying.
She said robbing the bank is frowned upon. Start over.
Okay, fine.
Robbing a bank is unacceptable. Okay. It's wrong. It's not just frowned upon. It's wrong.
Okay, I have one. The money in the dryer, the money you find in the dryer, is it yours or is it the person's who was washing the clothes?
The person who's washing the clothes.
No. See, it's perfectly acceptable to take the money. If you didn't check for
Absolutely.
your money, it's frowned upon for you to take the money, but you can take the
Okay,
money.
yeah, I agree.
Okay.
It's frowned upon to take the money when you clean the dryer. But my thing is that if you're washing multiple people's or multiple family
yeah,
members,
are washing.
individuals' clothes,
Yeah.
you've got 6 pairs of jeans in there
Yeah.
from different people,
Yes.
and you're washing the clothes, and in the dryer or in the washer is a 20 or a 50 or a
I've seen
5 or a
100.
10.
Uh-huh.
Who's to say whose jeans those came out of? I'm keeping the change. Like, I'm keeping it. Like,
It could have been mine.
if you were concerned about it, well, no, one, it wouldn't be in your pants or your pants pocket, and two, you would be washing clothes.
That's what I'm saying.
So I'm keeping it.
So is
I'm
that
keeping it.
frowned upon? You see what I'm
Absolutely,
saying?
it's frowned upon.
But
it's only frowned upon when it's your money.
yeah. You took my money. Oh, well, you should have checked the dryer.
Sorry, the dryer coughed up.
I'm sorry. If I
Coughed
do
up
your
25
laundry,
bucks.
what I find is mine, and that could be frowned upon. Okay. All right. Here's another thing that's frowned upon: going to the movies or a restaurant alone. It's not wrong to do it, and people do it all the time. You go to lunch by yourself. You go to get coffee by yourself.
I think
Tell me.
yes, it's kind of frowned upon, but I think it's more frowned upon from those personalities that are very outgoing. So a person who's a very outgoing person who's
It's hard for them to go sit by themselves.
yeah, they want to have people around them. So for them, it's frowned upon for somebody to go by themselves. But you take an introverted person.
Woohoo! We like to be by
An
ourselves.
introverted person will go and eat lunch. They'll go to a movie. They'll go sit in the park.
Yeah.
do
Even grocery shop, all by
By
ourselves.
themselves. They'll do it by themselves. And so it's I don't know if it's frowned upon. I think it's perspective of personality more than anything.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. I'll allow that.
I don't know.
I'll allow that.
But, at the same time, those individuals that are introverts, they probably need to socialize a little bit. So that's why it's frowned upon.
I know. I was thinking about a Halloween shirt, y'all. I didn't make it, so stop and getting upset already. It had a kitty cat on it, and I don't even like cats. And it had like a sunset in the back, and it said, "Ew, people." And I was gonna make it, but I didn't, because I like people. I like people, by the way. I like my alone time. Right? When you go somewhere, I'm like, no, it's okay. I'm going to stay at home. There's times I like to be quiet, like to be by myself, and that's frowned upon. I don't get it. Being by myself is frowned upon?
Well, I think it is. I think it is with some people that when you. I
See,
don't
are you
know.
going back to this?
No.
Like, are you
I
going
think
back to the what do you call it? Not the culture, but the what did you say a minute ago? Personalities.
Yeah, because I mean, I think.
I could be home all day by
myself. There are
myself.
some personalities. There are some people that could be home 2 days in a row and they wouldn't even
Me.
They wouldn't
I
even
wouldn't
bother
even
them.
flinch.
COVID
Blink.
shut down. They're like, oh,
Woohoo!
everything's
When
great.
COVID shut down, we were like, yeah, we could stay home.
Yeah, and then, but I think it's personality. I think being alone or being home alone or doing things alone, I think it's frowned upon. I think it's frowned upon by those individuals who they like to socialize, like to be out. They like people involved, and so they're.
Don't get me wrong. I do like my at home time, but I do like being out. And I'm just saying all that to say that I do like faces, and I do like seeing people, and I do like being in their space. But it's kind of what you say with your grandkids. 45 minutes. 45 minutes. That's all I got.
Sometimes more, but it just depends on what we're doing.
Right.
If we're doing an activity or a trip or outing or something, I could probably go longer.
Yeah.
But when they're at the house,
And we're all encased into one bedroom or one room.
living room area,
yeah,
whatever.
it's
and
really small.
Everybody's running around with dinosaurs and machine gun and nerve guns. I'm like, 45 minutes tops, bro. We're good. Or let's go outside. Half of y'all go outside.
But it's frowned upon to send them away.
That is frowned upon.
You see?
People do look at you kind of crazy. They're like,
You're sending me away. I have to go home.
yeah,
Listen, what do we always say? You don't got to go home, but you can't stay here. And that's frowned upon.
Yeah.
Okay?
So I could see
Sending
that, yeah.
people away, that's frowned upon. But, I mean...
Unless you're the one sending people away.
I was going to say, unless you're sending the Jehovah's Witnesses away. I mean, that's not frowned upon. I don't think so. Anyway, sorry, didn't mean to go there. Okay, talking about money.
I think that's...
It's frowned upon. Listen.
Well, it depends on the circles. I think a lot of these have to do with the circles because there are some people that don't... Okay.
Okay, come on.
Because I say this all the time. Like I say this, we do a series every year
Yes.
about finances.
Yes.
And one thing I always say, it's really frowned upon by congregations for
To talk about
leadership and pastors to talk about money.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's frowned upon. Like we want to talk about it. But on the other hand, I think it's the way that we talk about money.
Yeah.
Right? So
Okay.
I think there's situations, I think, this is going to ruffle some feathers. I think the people that frown upon talking about money are the ones that are not real good at handling money.
Ooh. And there goes the feathers, by the way.
Right. Like people
Yeah.
that struggle with handling money.
Because they feel like you're coming at them.
Yeah,
and they feel like you're
I think it's
accusing
frowned upon.
them.
You want to talk about money,
Yeah.
it's.
Oh, you want to talk about money? Oh, yeah.
Because I mean, I know like when we do our money series, I mean it's, and it's not really a money series. Most of the time, just a finance series that we usually do. That's one thing I say, like it's frowned upon for you to have series, conversations, sermons, preaching, teaching, wherever it is that fits your whatever
Yeah.
you believe.
Yeah.
To talk about money,
And sex.
and sex. Like we don't want to talk about those things in
Well,
church.
it's frowned upon in the church.
Yeah,
Let's not
it's,
talk about it. But
the
it's
taboo
actually,
things, those things that
it's
are
actually a
taboo.
really good thing to talk about. It helps. I think it helps. And really, they always say that when you first get married or before you get married, the two things that really cause fights are religion, what you believe, and money.
Well, there's
Right.
religion, money,
And
beliefs, raising your kids.
oh yeah, discipline.
know,
Woo-hoo-hoo.
raising your kids, your spiritual beliefs, finances, and sex are usually the problems.
Okay.
And those are taboo. You don't talk about those.
They're frowned upon.
Yeah.
Taboo. Does taboo and frowned upon mean the same thing?
I guess I don't know. Maybe so.
Okay. All right. So we're saying taboo. Okay. Okay. Eating dinner food in the morning. Y'all. I have a friend. We're not going to name any names. Stephen. She likes to eat like chili, fire, hot sauce, anything, and steak, and like. I just can't even like if you were at a hibachi and for breakfast at 5 a.m. and I'm like, who does that? Why? Ew! My stomach would be like,
I see now that's the area I frown upon that.
I frown upon that. Why? Because you think we should do that?
No, I think.
Well, I mean, there
because
was
people
steak
eat.
and eggs.
Well, that's
There
what I'm
was
saying. Like you have steak and eggs. You have
this isn't
chicken fried
steak.
steak and eggs.
This is hot.
But
and
I think I don't know. My opinion
Okay.
is that when you eat non-breakfast food for breakfast, I think it's frowned upon.
You're a weirdo.
No,
I mean,
I think
just put it out there.
I think it's frowned upon because it's not the norm. Like when you think about breakfast, you should have at least 3 main ingredients: eggs, bacon, and sausage. Like those are the 3 main breakfast ingredients. And you can
I thought you were gonna say eggs, flour, and sugar. I mean, I don't know.
eggs. You have eggs, bacon,
And sausage.
and sausage. Like, well, depending on your upbringing, that sausage might be chorizo. So, like an eggs is a staple for breakfast,
yes,
right? Like,
yes.
and then you have, of course, like drink-wise, you might have coffee,
Juice,
or milk, right? So those are like, if you have milk in the morning, it's breakfast, coffee, breakfast.
But a
juice.
soda?
I don't know, because I have
soda?
sodas for breakfast sometimes. I do have
soda
soda.
and
a burrito?
Chinese food though? Chinese
No,
food?
well, that's what I'm saying. But you
Or
don't know.
Oriental food,
But see,
or-
that's crazy because I don't know what Middle Eastern people eat for
That's
breakfast.
true.
I don't
That's
know
true.
what Asians eat
That
for
is true.
breakfast. I know that when they come and eat breakfast with me, we're having a burrito. Like we're gonna have a burrito. We're gonna have huevos rancheros. But I'm not the kind of guy that's gonna sit down. Yo, give me a steak and eggs.
Yeah.
Like I don't
can't
eat
do-
steak and
yeah,
eggs. I
that's
don't.
too-
That's just not me. So I think. It has to do with a bit of culture. I think it has to do with
Okay, I'll allow that.
upbringing.
Yeah.
Upbringing, you
Yeah.
know.
She's from Lebanese.
I mean, because when I was in high school growing up, I had a what do you call it? Little bottle of milk, or in those days there were cartons. Had 2 cartons of milk, or a bottle of chocolate milk, and I had a strawberry cinnamon roll.
Ew.
Mrs. Baird's strawberry cinnamon roll, and like I had that every day. Every day of my junior high and senior high year. Like, if the vending machine did not have those items, I was having an issue, right? Like, because I would go to the vending machine. The vending machine, bro, because it was right outside my class. And pop in my change, get my cinnamon roll, get my milk, bro, and it was on. But is that really breakfast?
No.
No, it's not really breakfast.
I don't know.
Well, because I added milk to it, it's breakfast.
Okay,
right?
okay. I mean, yeah. Well, I'm saying
breakfast.
so not naming any names again. So Big Red and donuts is an okay breakfast diet. Not donuts, but powdered sugar donuts. That's a breakfast.
Oh man,
it's upbringing. It goes back to upbringing.
It does. And I frown upon that.
Okay, like I don't believe that Pop-Tarts are a great breakfast.
I don't
To
either.
me, that's straight up sugar.
Well, that's to me, that's
But
one of those.
they call it a staple, and they call it a breakfast staple. I'm like, in what land?
To me, Pop-Tarts in the morning or Eggos or anything of those microwave, toaster, or air fry breakfast.
Full of jelly.
I'm saying those are breakfast items, but I don't think like having that for breakfast every day is a wise decision. I don't think it's frowned upon to have it every day for breakfast.
There's the frowned upon right there.
But
by
if
who?
That's what you,
but by who?
By me.
Okay, but you don't set the standard.
From here on out, this fourth, Pop-Tarts are no longer breakfast.
Too late.
Afternoon snack.
Too late. I already brought my grandson some. Okay. All right. Here's another one, and this has nothing to do with you, so you'll be like, move along. Another thing that's frowned upon: going braless. Society just deems that dumb or is frowned upon.
I go braless all the time.
Do you?
Yes.
Do you? Then you wouldn't be wearing an undershirt. Okay. All right. Okay.
Still don't have a bra.
Anyway.
So what do you think that's frowned? Is that frowned upon from a female perspective, from a women's empowerment person?
Okay. I'll take it from this then. So here we went to this
I know
event.
why it's frowned upon as a guy, but you share yours first.
I don't have an opinion about it because I'm not from that upbringing. So for me, I wouldn't do that. But I don't frown upon on women who do that.
Gotcha.
So,
but you keep yours locked up and tied up.
Keep the yard dogs in.
I was thinking that. I didn't want to say it. You said it. Keep the yard dogs locked up, tied up.
On the leash.
On the leash and under a key.
Okay,
I didn't say it. You said it.
Okay. But you thought it.
I did think it, but I was like, I don't say that.
Okay.
You said it.
Come on. Tell me what you were going to say.
From a guy's perspective.
Yeah, give me a guy's perspective.
From a guy's perspective, I don't know about most guys, but for me, just from being a guy's perspective, I think when you see a female who's braless, it literally messes with you. It stirs sexuality up in me. Like for me, if I see somebody that doesn't have a bra, like you're like, they don't have a bra on. Like it draws attention. Draws attention, and
that's a good one.
Makes your imagination start going, like all that kind of stuff. So from a guy's perspective, that's why I feel like, or for me, that's why I would frown upon it, because it creates an entirely different situation. If somebody walked up to me trying to have a conversation with me, female, and they didn't have a bra on, I would struggle, like, to have that conversation, because there's a thin line between them and me.
That's it,
right?
Yeah.
So that's where I would struggle. I would also struggle if one of my daughters or somebody that I was close to was
walking around
that way. It would make me uncomfortable. So from that perspective, I would frown upon it. But at the same time, if that's what you want to do,
I think
I can't do nothing.
But I think it does have to be with upbringing, because if we had gotten married and I was braless all the time, you'd be used to it by now.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe.
Yes.
Possibly.
But because I didn't come from that upbringing, I never did that. So
I can agree with that, because when you think about,
I think about my brother-in-laws, some.
Well, I'm thinking in terms of, like, when you look at culture, upbringing. When you mentioned upbringing and the culture, when you look at the indigenous people, like, they didn't have, they weren't running around with bras. That's a European colonial implementation there. So that's, You know,
as
you
well
look
as
at
the
pictures.
corset and trying
Yeah,
to keep everything tied up.
yeah,
You know,
so
what do
that-
you always say about the Spanx or what did I tell you it was called?
I don't remember.
I said, man, I need one of those. And you said, that's a cheater.
Oh, yeah.
Because you pull it up, you know, and it holds all your longhas in and all your fat in. But then you pull it down, it's like,
Hello.
and you're like,
Here I am.
and you're like, that's cheating. Because if I got with somebody and they, you know, and I didn't know they had it all tied up, you know, whatever. So
False advertising.
yeah. Or as Donovan used to say, one of our kids, he would say that all the time. The lace down here, you would see it, and he said, what did he used to say? Something about like, you think it is, but it's not, you know,
Right.
type thing. Okay, another thing. This one is probably just going to make everybody fall out of their seat. Picking out a wedgie. It's frowned upon in society.
But it feels good.
But I think even though it's frowned upon, it needs to be done. So, I mean,
That is frowned upon.
Right.
Well, it's funny because you like try to pick a wedgie out, right? Like you're
Okay.
trying to get that underwear or that panty stuck between your butt cheeks for whatever reason.
Or the butt floss, as
butt
we
floss
like to
or whatever,
say.
right?
Okay.
The funny thing about it is that because of the location of you're trying to remove that piece of garment,
Yes.
you automatically go, ooh, they've got poo on their hands. That's why it seems gross.
Okay.
She's like, oh, you dig
So
it in
that's
your
frowned
butt.
upon. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but there's like 6 layers between me.
Okay, but here's another thing, going right there. But you're talking about them digging in their butt. I think society probably frowns upon people picking their nose in the car. But it happens. It's like
You know why people pick their nose in the car?
Tell me.
This is why people pick
Tell
their nose
me.
in the car. It's because they're in a car with the windows up. So in their mind, nobody can see them.
You can't see me.
Yeah, that's literally like subconsciously they're thinking nobody can see me until they turn and look, right?
Yeah.
And that's why people do it. Like that's why they sing because it's literally
I sing.
it's a false sense of security
In your
'Cause you-
car?
Yeah, you're like, yeah, you're singing, picking your nose, doing whatever, and then you look over there and you're like, dang, everybody's watching me.
Hey, I don't mind.
That's
I
why
will
people do
sing.
it.
I will
But-
sing in the
but
car.
picking your nose is definitely frowned upon.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Okay. All right. 2 more. Small intimate weddings. People don't like small intimate weddings. They think the smaller the wedding that you didn't have any friends or you didn't invite anybody. And actually, I can't really say that's frowned upon anymore because now things are changing that it's good for small intimate. Not even before COVID it was.
Well, I know, but I think the people that frown upon that are the ones that are upset that they didn't get invited. Because we invited 10 people, but you weren't one of the 10.
Whoa.
So now you get your feelings hurt, so now it's frowned upon.
Yeah.
But if you're one of the 10, it's like, it's perfectly fine.
normal.
Yeah.
Okay, here's one. This is going to be controversial. Ready?
Oh, yeah.
Breastfeeding in public. It's frowned upon. It shouldn't be, and today's society right now is really working on being a norm because, again, if you go back to Native American culture, they were breastfeeding right there, latched onto a baby, you know, and full, no shirt, nothing.
I think the only thing that I could say about being frowned upon breastfeeding in public is in the manner that it's done,
Okay.
for me.
If it makes somebody feel uncomfortable. But
Well,
women will say, I was like, women will say, you eating makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, it
you know?
shouldn't make. It should not make anybody feel uncomfortable. Breastfeeding should not.
Right.
But it does, and that's why it's frowned upon.
Yeah.
To me, it's not the breastfeeding that's frowned upon in public, or breastfeeding in public to me is not frowned upon. It's when they're 7 years old and they're breastfeeding. That's
Listen,
what are
you don't have
12?
to talk about my cousin. I'm telling you, he
I
was
don't know.
4 years old, ran over to his mom, lifted up his shirt, got a drink, and she went braless. She was a hippie, and she went braless, and he lifted up her shirt, got a drink, put her shirt down, and took off while she was in the middle of a conversation. And I'm thinking, you know,
That's frowned upon.
for a 12-year-old, I'm just like, ah! You know,
I don't
thinking,
know if he was 12.
oh, okay.
He was old enough to go play.
No, me.
Oh, you were
me.
12. Like you sounded like he was 12.
No, me watching this.
Oh.
Okay. All right. Here's the last one, and you guys are gonna fall out of your seat. Okay. But kids who say no.
I don't think that's frowned upon.
Yes, it is.
I think that's beat upon. I personally don't like it when kids, any kids, and I say kids using it from like 10, 11 years old
Okay.
below,
Uh-huh.
saying no, unacceptable. When you get to about 11, 12 years old, if you say no, let's have a discussion.
Okay, but that's what
That's
I'm
to
saying.
me. That's to me. Some parents are probably mad at me right now. Like,
because
what?
parents are going, no, they need to be able to express their feelings and talk about it.
I understand. I understand expressing your feelings, but if we allow, and I understand saying no, but it's do they have power in their no? That's where I
are they just saying no?
Are they just
to
saying
defy?
no? Are they saying no because they don't want to? Are they say, and do they get to walk out their no? No, I don't want to eat that. And the parent's like, okay, go get something else to eat.
No. You said no, and this is what we're eating.
Yes.
But they don't like that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, to me, it's
a thin line.
it's very thin because I think if a kid says no,
hey.
But because, I mean, think about it. In society,
That's me.
we can say no all day, and yet they're still going to do what they're
Yeah,
going to do.
yeah.
In our, in politics,
Yes.
in rules, like I don't want to have to be at work at 8:30. Well, then you don't get paid. No, I don't want to go. Well, then you're not getting paid.
Well, then you don't have a job.
I feel like when you do that with kids, you're setting them up for failure in the future because,
I love it.
well, I don't want to go to work. I don't want to eat macaroni. Like, well, bro, this is what we're eating. Well, then I don't want to eat. And so you're creating a culture. You're creating a generation
who
thinks that no is okay all the time. And there's times to say no, and there's times to say yes. I think that we tend to, the reason it's frowned upon is because we tend to we tend to go with the no without allowing them to understand that it's okay to say no, but you're still going to do this.
Oh, okay,
Right?
okay.
So you can express
You may
no.
not like it. Kind of what you say about the Bible. I don't like everything that the Bible says, but I'm gonna
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do my best to obey it and follow it.
You say that all the time.
Yeah, and so I think that's with breaking up kids. I think parents a lot of times they don't want to have to deal with conflict or deal with attitude, so they're just like, fine, you don't want to do it, fine. But we're really setting them up in their future. We're making it difficult for them because they're gonna hit that realization where like, I don't care.
So
You can say no all you want.
that's why the other three say I broke the last one, because I let him say no and get away with it.
I'm not getting into that. That's family mode. That escalated really quick. Thank you. We're going to go to commercial. Commercial
Black
break.
screen goes up.
Sorry. Well,
Anyway.
Anyway, we're back. Okay. So.
Anyway, I'm going to say that if you think about some things that are frowned upon in society, I only brought this up because I was just thinking about, seeing somebody do something and thinking, well, that's frowned upon. That doesn't mean that it's not
wrong.
Yeah, that doesn't mean it's wrong. That just means that it's frowned upon. That means that a lot of people could disagree with you.
I don't know if I'd have done that, Leroy.
Yeah. And it's okay to disagree, guys. It's okay. What do they always say? Can't we just agree to disagree?
Yeah.
On some things.
My thing on that, when you think about things that are frowned upon, like if you're paying your bills and you're taking care of your business, hey, I ain't got much to say.
Yeah.
That's
you do say that. You do
that's
say
you,
that
baby.
quite often.
Hey, right?
So I don't know. I just felt like that needed to be discussed for a minute because I was just talking about some things that were frowned upon, and people do that all the time. They bring up all that stuff. And so I just felt like we needed just to have some fun and talk about those things.
And please do not frown upon us.
Because some of the things we talk about
Are frowned upon.
And
Sometimes.
we say that quite often. We say that we bring and we talk about some things and we do some things, and our standards are things that are not, it's not culturally appropriate.
Well, let me clarify.
I was going to say, it's not that it's not culturally appropriate.
It's not culturally appropriate in religious, traditional, church, Christian culture.
Yes.
In the Christian culture, in the church culture, we kind of push back on some things.
Yeah.
I feel like.
No, you're right.
Some of our listeners are like, y'all are not even controversial. Like, well, when you're looking at it from
the Christian culture, church aspect,
and you're like,
we are.
yeah, you probably,
And we say all the time, Riverside Community Church is frowned upon. Some of the things we do, but if we continue to do some of the things that we do the way we've always done it, you're always going to get the results that you've always gotten. And we don't need that. We need to be outside. We need to look at we need to look at things from the outside.
And I think that's why sometimes we get frowned upon, is because my goal, or I try to bring scripture, bring scripture and biblical principles, without doing my best without trying to change culture without
Yeah.
trying to change people's upbringing and their, beliefs. Like, and I say beliefs, but in the sense of, tradition and things that they do in the culture. I don't believe that when I look at folks that are believers, people that have inherently grasped the gospel and following after Christ, they still have cultural things in their life that they do, even though they're believers and followers. And sometimes I feel like that's frowned upon because once you come into the church, they want you to adapt and change to their culture.
And that shouldn't be so.
And there's an aspect of that you're going to have, but overall, I think it's about relationship, because that's one thing that we always say. The church, Christians always say, is it's about relationship with God. It's about relationship with Jesus. It's not about religion or tradition, but yet we operate and do things out of religion and tradition and not relationship.
And it's frowned upon if you move out of that.
Yes.
And here's what I think. This is Riverside, okay?
Oh,
just so you guys, we are. If I had a chalk marker, I would draw a line down the middle of this table. And I would say that Riverside is like this. And this is the line, and our toes are on the line, but this is us. We're doing is the Michael Jackson lean? He leaned all the way. That's us. We're still on the line, and we're still on this side, but we are lean at a 90-degree angle and not falling, because it's not that we're trying to cross the line. It's just that we're not trying to do the things that people frown upon, but at the same time, we can't do the same things we've always done and expect different results. We've got
to me, it's very simple. Truth is the same, but the methods of sharing the truth can change and be different.
Amen.
I'm not married to methods. I'm married to the truth.
That's right. Woo! Preach it, brother. All right. So anyway, if you're frowning at us right now, I'm sorry. We are things frowned upon, and that's the shirts we should have wore. Anyway.
Sometimes frowned upon.
Yeah, sometimes frowned upon. Yeah. But anyway, thank you guys for listening. I hope you had fun with this. If you think of some things that are frowned upon, you can send those to us as well in our email at cellolozano@gmail.com.
Leave us some comments on the bottom of the screen there. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next Wednesday. Take it easy.
Thank you for listening to the Riverside Weekly. Download the Riverside Waco app to stay connected and follow us on all social media sites at the Riverside Waco. This podcast is made possible by the givers of Riverside Community Church. Production and engineer provided by Capital G and RTV in Waco, Texas.